It's about dang time I talk about this. But I am sick. So I am sick. So it's going to look like I haven't washed my hair in a month and brushed my hair in a year, and I've been smoking cigarettes for 10. I'm sick. Anyway, let's get to the point. I've had weird experiences that are like, this is kind of like a glitch in a matrix, like things disappearing for a while when I know where they were at, and they showing up in the same place and being like, okay, this item just went to another dimension. But this one that happened was undoubtable and was really trippy. So me, my sister, brother, and dad were shopping at Walmart. My dad was on the opposite side of Walmart from us. He was shopping for groceries. I was shopping for sheets for my new bed. I found a pair that I really wanted, but I owed my mother money. So I called my dad, and just to get his advice, should I give my mom the money or get sheets for my bed? We agreed upon giving the money I owed to my mom. Anyway, hung up the phone, put it in my pocket. I have one of those Samsung Flip 6. Anyway, me and my brother and sister started walking around for fun. We headed to the shoe section, and this is where it gets really odd. I don't know why my brother started bringing this up. I can't remember, this happened like 3 weeks ago, but he was like, this is all fake, man. How can I tell you're real and this is just not another simulation? And he's like, this is just not real. Nothing's real. Randomly. In the shoe section of Walmart. Anyway, we walked to the bra section, which is really close to the shoes. And we were kind of just like, okay, we're done shopping. We're going to see if dad's still in the store, because if my dad was done with groceries, he was going to leave the store and just sit in the car and wait for us. So we wanted to call him and make sure that he wasn't in the car. I go into my pocket, my phone's not in there. I start freaking out. I check my other pocket. I check my pants pocket. I check my purse. It is not in there. This is a Samsung Flip 6, one of the newest phones you could get right now. This is a very stealable phone. And we were just like, somehow we spaced it, and I must have put it on a shelf at Walmart. The last time I had my phone was at the sheet section, so we almost start sprinting to the sheet section. My sister calls my phone. Maybe I didn't check my pocket big enough. It was too much of an abyss. Nothing. It was so obvious that I left my phone somewhere in the store. We went to the sheet section. It was not there. It was nowhere to be seen. I looked in the exact place that I would think, and the only place I could possibly put the phone at. And we were like, great, my phone was stolen. It is nowhere, because the places we were walking, we were in the shoe section. We were in the clothes section. Where the heck would I be able to just set my phone at and just leave it there? We were so convinced that it was lost. So we start walking. We still are tracing our steps, looking at the places like the shoes and that stuff. And my sister keeps on calling my phone over and over again. And I remember being like, Adara, that's my sister's name, being like, okay, we're going to just sit here and wait and make sure the phone rings long enough. So that, because if a person stole it, I could imagine that they just hang up, No, it rings for long enough. I think we were actually by the same place where we figured out I lost my phone. I was like, Dara, call my phone again. She calls my phone. I feel it vibrating in my pocket. I go into the pocket I checked probably 100 times. There's my phone. We were flabbergasted. Even if it was in my pocket, why would I have not felt it or heard it? It left, came back into my pocket. I find it so odd that this happens right after my brother starts talking about how we're in a simulation. And then my phone just vanishes off the surface of the earth for 10 minutes and then comes back. Anyway, we call my dad. He's still in the store, so we're trying to find him. But after that happened, it really felt like we weren't in the same dimension. Everything just felt really weird. We were having a very hard time finding our dad in the store. He said he was in this place. We went there. He wasn't there. We checked the surrounding areas. Oh, maybe he meant this section. We checked there. Nowhere. And I call him again. I'm like, where are you at? He's like, I'm in this place. We loop around to the first place where we thought he was at, and he's there. It was just so weird. I never had a glitch in a Matrix story that crazy. I don't think anyone can understand how trippy it is. Like, you could hear me talk about this and you won't know it. You won't know the feeling and the weirdness it is until you experience it. And I hope you don't.